The View claims there would be zero migrant crisis if illegals came from this country, by Amy Moreno for truthfeednews.com. Yeah, this doesn't make sense to me either. The clueless dingalings who host ABC's The View are chiming in once again on matters they know nothing about. Like most Democrats, suddenly the ladies of the low-rated The View are outraged over immigration laws that have been in effect for eons. Yeah, because it has to do with President Trump. The only reason they're upset now about children being separated from their adult guardians at the border is because President Trump is in office and most of these people suffer from Trump derangement syndrome. No, the fact of the matter is that the laws were in place, but Obama was allowing them to enter. He wasn't following the laws, whereas Trump is following the law and stopping them. Do you see? That's what's going on, basically. When Obama was doing the same thing, no one said a peep. Yeah, he put, those pictures were from 2014, but he wasn't really enforcing the law. However, leave it to the ladies of The View to make matters even more absurd by now suggesting what's happening at the border is racist. Oh, now I've heard it all. And if the illegals were from Norway, it'd be a totally different story. What a crock. What a crock. From IJR, two of the co-hosts of The View suggested Tuesday that President Donald Trump's administration might have a racial motive for separating immigrant families at the southern border. This is hysterical. I was just thinking, if these were Norwegian kids, would this be happening to them? Co-host Joy Behar asks. In response, fellow panelist Sunny Hostin said, probably not. I can't stand Sunny Hostin. What a nasty, nasty witch she is. Their comments came after Homeland Security Secretary Christian Nielsen spoke at a press briefing Monday when she defended the administration's practice of separating families at the border. Congress, Nielsen argued, should act to fix the situation by changing federal law. And mind you, you know that the liberals chased Christian Nielsen from, she was going to eat at a restaurant, and they chased her out, the liberals, because of this. Can you imagine what's taking place in our country? But this is going to end. This garbage is going to end real soon because people are waking up. Hostin argued, yeah, of course, that one. And I didn't know her name. And I wanted to say this previously, like I couldn't stand that one. She's such an arrogant, know-it-all. So she argued, however, Trump could already change the situation. All he needs to say is, we are not going to do it, period, she argued. Amid uproar over the practice, Trump repeatedly blamed Democrats for the family separation, and I totally agree. Democrats are the problem. They don't care about crime and want illegal immigrants, no matter how bad they may be, to pour into and infest our country. Like MS-13, they can't win on their terrible policies, so they view them as potential voters, of course. As if MS-13 is going to actually vote, but let's just go along with it. It is the Democrats' fault for being weak and ineffective with border security and crime. Tell them to start thinking about the people devastated by crime coming from illegal immigration. Change the laws. Why don't the Democrats give us the votes to fix the world's worst immigration laws? Where is the outcry for the killing and crime being caused by gangs and thugs, including MS-13 coming into our country illegally? Yeah, they don't care about that. You think they do? Or you think they care about the kids being separated? No, they just want to detract from the IG report, and they want to score points by making Trump look bad on separating the kids for the midterms. So on Monday, Behar complained about the situation, saying that she couldn't enjoy her life while knowing about the family separations at the border. Oh, pray tell, these people are so concerned. Let's take a quick listen so our stomachs will turn this morning, but oh well.
And he says, this isn't mine, it's Congress.
Right.
So I just find that distinction, but I also find Kirsten Nielsen enraging, because this is a woman who keeps coming out to speak about this, as she should in her role, but she didn't realize that people from Norway were predominantly white. She also didn't know that the more than 17 intelligence agencies came out saying that Russia had meddled in favor of Trump. She also couldn't explain why she didn't know why there were no images.
Where do they get this Russia medal? Do you see how they try to discredit us, our votes, as if Trump won because of Russian meddling and not because Trump is the winner? Let's just be real. And there would be no race. I will say it again. There wouldn't have been a race between Trump and Hillary. It would have been it would have been Trump and Bernie. But Hillary took out Bernie Sanders because she bought the DNC. That's what she did. And she ousted Bernie Sanders, who I think was also a shill in this because he knew about it. Anyway, let's move on. Sorry about that.
The little girls in the detention centers, because she wasn't quite sure where those were. But then she reassures us that they are all being well taken care of. I just have a hard time taking anything she says for truth.
Now, since you brought up Norwegians, I was just thinking, if these were Norwegian kids, would this be happening to them?
Probably not. Probably not. And I agree with you, Sarah. What's strange to me is that everybody's talking about Congress now passing some sort of bill that will end this policy. This president can end this policy right now. All he needs to do is say, we are not going to do it.
Look at the idiots
Period.
clapping.
There is nothing else that needs to be done. Jeff Sessions, quite frankly, can end the policy right now, the policy that he announced. And what is interesting to me, and I'm so proud of my former colleagues at the U.S. Attorney's Office, 75 former U.S. attorneys wrote a letter.
If you see, this is the kind of garbage that they allow to graduate, you see, from these schools. Do you see? Because they get this is the kind of trash that they allow to graduate, you see? Because in reality, they get a pass. These people get a pass in school. That's why my colleague, she has to always mention that. I hear her all the time mentioning it. You know, she's just an arrogant, you know what.
To Jeff Sessions and made it very clear, the law does not require the systematic separation of families under these circumstances. The law does not require it.
But you have people like Laura Ingraham saying that it's like their kids are in summer camp. I don't think they sent 2-year-olds to summer camp, number one. Yeah. They didn't put them in cages and put them all together with that. And then this other one, Nielsen, what's her name? She says, oh, they're being treated really well. They have video games and they've got movies and they've got what have you.
They don't have the parents.
If you don't have your mother,
you don't have your parents.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. I observed my grandson. You know, he's 7 years old. He likes to play this Minecraft when he's at my house, but he wants us in the room with him. You know, children want their parents. They want their grandparents there. And I don't think in summer camp, mothers were dragged out screaming, I want my child back. Well, they were sending them to camp.
Can I say one thing? I mean, I don't have to have a child to know that this is, like, not humane. Number one, you're right that President Trump and Jeff Sessions could possibly shut this down today, but they're not going to. So we have to rely on people like Ted Cruz to come on the forefront and people on the right that are speaking out about this. And by the way, the anger is palpable on both sides. And while Laura Ingraham may be one person who, yes, has a primetime show, but she doesn't certainly speak for the entirety of the party. There's a lot of outrage. And when you're seeing people like Bill O'Reilly, Ted Cruz, Laura Bush, these are hard right figures within the party and commentators coming out saying this is wrong. You've got a PR crisis. But on the flip side, President Trump has the highest approval rating. 45% came out Gallup today. It's tied with what Obama was, 45% at the same time in his.
I wouldn't bring that up because what's interesting is they were saying that you survey 905 people, Quinnipiac, is that how you say Quinnipiac? Survey, and so when they say that of those 907, but you know, there are 27 million people in the country. And I think it's a little bit of this is PR because a lot of folks on the right, a lot of Republicans do not like what's happening. They don't like what they're seeing. And what's great about, for me, is this is how things change. When you put a face to something, I remember when I was a kid, we only had three networks and one you had to get if you were on like a treadmill. But you saw what was happening down south with people getting hit with water hoses. You saw children getting hit. You saw adults getting hit because they wanted to go and vote. And people started to say, well, how would I feel if I wanted to vote and I couldn't? So I feel like these visuals of us seeing these children being separated and seeing the children separated is going to help us as Americans, because whether you're left or right, as an American, this has to piss you off. This should piss you off. Like, it doesn't, I mean, this is beyond left, right, center, middle. This is an American issue. And if you don't see, I mean, because we say Obama was able to deport a whole bunch of people, more people than anybody else as president, but he didn't separate the families. So you can deport without doing this.
I have a question. My question about these Republicans that you're talking about, Bill O'Reilly, etc., are they informing the American public that this is not for the Democrats to fix? Does America know that this is strictly a Trump rule?
I think the fact that Senator Cruz is having a, quote, emergency bill right now, I think he understands that, and I think many people in the party do. I think the problem, the breakdown is there are a lot of people on the left that want open borders. They want amnesty, and the debate over what kind of immigration we have in this country will rage on. But I think on a basic level, and Ted Cruz, by the way, is very hard on this issue. When you don't want to have families separated, there is a big difference between that, keeping families together. That doesn't mean they're automatically going to come into the country. That doesn't mean they're automatically going to get citizenship. Right, happening. But I think that's what's being misconstrued right now, is that if you're disgusted by this, then automatically it means you want open borders. I do not want open borders.
But,
of course not.
But think about it again. Yes. Obama was able to do this, and by the way,
and George W.
A lot of folks
called the deporter in chief.
Yes, he did not do it this way. So I'm just saying, this is again, it's not left or right or center. This is American, and this is.
Well, I'd just say that Trump should just ship them right back. The minute they come in, ship them right back. That's it. I don't want to take care of kids. I don't want to pay for taking care of the kids. The country doesn't want to be bothered. We don't want them. Once they're trying to cross, ship them right back. That's it. Basically, bottom line. That's the only way to end this garbage there, and shut these Democrats' mouth, because they are for open borders. No matter what they're talking about, that's what they want: open borders, flood of immigration. That's why this show is on the air already. Who's paying for that? The elites that want the New World Order. That's who's paying their salaries. What do you think? People are actually watching these people? No, not a lot of people are watching them. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.